Until this summer, Amy Sachs was the principal of an elementary school in Pennsylvania. Then she was fired. She says the school district superintendent told her that conservative memes she uploaded to her private Facebook page had, quote, offended a parent who'd complained to the district. Now, in case you're wondering what these memes were, you're seeing one on the screen right now. Sachs is doing what very few people who've been fired in the last year have done. She's suing, in this case, the Montgomery County Public Schools. Tonight, Amy Sachs joins us along with her attorney, Francis Malafi. We're happy to have them both. Thanks very much for joining us. So, Amy, to you first. We put one of those memes on the screen. Now, in these stories, you always kind of, the details are what matters. Tell us what these memes said. Were they extremist material, would you say?
Oh, absolutely not. They were literally, right of center political posts that really showcased the absurdity that was going on at the time in the news.
Yes. So basically, you said you were against Joe Biden. You did not prefer to vote for Joe Biden. I mean, that seems to be the gist of the memes we're putting on the screen here.
Yes.
And that was too far for the superintendent?
Apparently, yes. The one meme specifically had Biden's name in it, and that was definitely apparently offensive to somebody.
Francis, are you, as a lawyer, tell us, are you allowed to fire someone because they're voting for a candidate you don't like?
You're absolutely not allowed to fire someone and take a political viewpoint in a public school. In schools in the United States, we have a great right, which is the First Amendment. And that allows us to share opinions, share thought, share speech without persecution or prosecution from our government. When you're in a public school, in a public school setting, administrators or directors or superintendents, school boards, aren't there to dictate political policy. And in fact, what's unique in this case is that Principal Sachs is fighting for her job. She's fighting for her family's livelihood and welfare. But this is not a war that's happening only in certain counties. It's happening. It's a war that's happening across this country in public schools. And it's also a war that's happening in the minds of the children that are taught in these public schools. As an attorney, I'm proud to champion this cause and do everything I can to reinstate Principal Sachs to her position. But the issue is that we have a First Amendment, and it allows us to express our thoughts, feelings, or emotions without retribution from government. When she did something not in the public school system, but privately, her private political Facebook posts were used to basically terminate her from her position as principal. And the shocking thing is, this is not a underperformer principal. Principal Sachs had one of the top elementary schools in Pennsylvania. It was a top-performing, top 10 elementary school, no issues of discipline, 20-year veteran, 7-year principal, and to think that a superintendent, Barbara Russell, with the help of attorneys, would sit her down and show her 15 cherry-picked posts that basically were center or right-of-center conservative posts, and then fire her without cause or without just notice, it's shocking. And it's shocking because it's not happening just in this instance.
That's the definition of extremism. I mean, that you just defined what extremism looks like. Amy Sachs, I'm grateful to you that you didn't go along with this, as so many people have, that you're fighting back, and we're certainly rooting for you. Thank you for coming on tonight. Francis, thank you for representing her. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
So you've heard a lot about voter fraud in last month's election. Tonight, specific examples. A top Republican in the state of Georgia filed a suit saying he has identified a